Hi guys! So today I'll be talking about an agent and how to get an amazing agent. So I've had definitely my fair share of agents, and so I just thought I'll impart my my knowledge on how I've gotten one and also how you can find a really good one, because your agent is definitely a person that believes in you and is going to represent you really well. So if they represent you well, then you're going to be able to get into those audition rooms. And obviously with this coronavirus, it may not be audition rooms, but it might just be a self-tape, and that's going to give you just an opportunity to be able to put something down to be able to land a job. So I will be giving my tips. So number one is have an agent that believes in you. That's the number one thing. So a lot of people have been kind of going for really big agents, and then they're kind of sitting on the books and not getting anything. So definitely when you are going in for a meeting, what you want to do is really suss out whether this person believes in you. I'll give you a little bit of story. I've shared it in a different video, but that video was quite long, so I'll cut it really quite short. When I was looking for an agent, I had two agents kind of waiting for a meeting. One of them, who I'm with right now, is super professional. He sat down and was like, I love your videos, your accent was hilarious, your Asian accent, I love you, and you do this and you do that. And he basically watched all my videos to the point where I was like, wow, you're selling me to me. I didn't realize, like, wow, I'm a really great candidate to client to be on his books. And so it was a really great experience. Then after that, I had another meeting with another agent, because I was sussing out a few agents and kind of seeing who I got along with first. And then the next agent, he sat me down. I'm not going to name names, but he sat me down and basically didn't watch my videos. He saw my headshot probably and was like, oh wait, let me watch your videos now. So as I was there in the meeting, he started to watch a few clips of my videos on the spot, and I was going, so you didn't even know my acting ability before you even got in here, so why do you even want to represent me? And then he proceeded to kind of bag out other clients that he was representing and telling me, like, by the way, I might be dropping a few, but they don't know yet. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know, for me, I was like, one, you don't even know me, and two, you didn't try to get to know me, and three, how are you going to represent me if you don't want to try to get to know me? So that's the best thing, is that when you're going to the meeting, I would actually, I've helped a lot of my friends try to get agents, and the biggest one I said is have an idea of the agent that you want. Do you want an agent that is highly professional, not so personable, or do you want a really personable one and also professional? So a lot of our personalities get along with different personalities, and for me, I wanted a personable one that I really enjoyed talking to. We got along, and he was very professional. He had a lot of connections, really pushed for me and really believed in me, which was the biggest thing. So get one that really believes in you. Two, I would always try to, when I'm actually going out for feelers, so if you're trying to just get an agent, what I would recommend is going on IMDb Pro or going through MEAA, which is the Australian acting agency, like representation, like body. And what you can do is actually do research on what are the top acting agencies. So what I would actually recommend is going from the top of the acting agencies on the way downwards. So I always say don't settle. So don't settle for like a mediocre extras acting agency when potentially you could get even better than that. So I would always go from the top. In Australia, there's a couple of top agencies. Obviously everyone knows Morrissey, but there's so many other ones like Lisa Mann. There's agencies that do voiceover as well as acting, modeling, acting and voice. Like, it just depends on what your strengths are, whether it's theater or whether it's more for screen. So obviously, again, with the coronavirus, I get that theater is out of the question, but eventually things are gonna kind of settle down over the next few years. So this is also gonna help those in the future. So obviously this is gonna be up here for a long time. So I would actually recommend popping the list down from the top agencies on the way to the worst agency, or not the worst agency, the agency that's on the bottom, and then try to email the top and then kind of make your way down. So because you don't know who you're going to get and how far you can get unless you reach for the stars, right? You gotta shoot for the stars and you'll get among, wait, no, shoot for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars. So you want to do that, and I always recommend that. So there's ways that you can email agents, obviously with US representation. So I have a US manager or managers at Brillstein Entertainment Partners, and they're amazing. But when I was trying to find an American agent, what I actually did was I went on IMDb Pro. I found all the management companies as well as agent companies, and I kind of looked at their clients. So I was looking at what kind of actors I really kind of drew towards. So for me, it was again comedy. I really wanted to get into sitcom. I really wanted to get into comedy. So I was looking into like Kristen Wiig's manager and agent. I was looking at all the kind of sitcom comedy actors and then looking at who represented them, and then looking at also potentially if there was an agent that was representing a few of them, and then I'll kind of email that manager. So in the US and the Australian market, obviously they're completely different. In Australia, we only have agents, and there's not many agents, so it's going to be really easy for you to email a specific agent, because usually the agency has a couple of managers, but they're all kind of working together. While in the US, they kind of are more in terms of, there's actually quite a number of managers or agents under one company. So I would actually recommend not emailing every single agent or manager, but actually going for one and then emailing that one manager or agent and then ticking them off your list and then waiting for them to reply. And if they don't reply, so what I would actually recommend is emailing one manager or agent from that agency and then ticking them off your list, and then if they don't reply within a month or 2 months, then I would go down the list in terms of another manager or an agent, because obviously they haven't replied to you. In Australia, I would give it time, because again, it is a very small industry and a very small amount of agencies. So what I would actually recommend is just emailing each agents that you think you could be a part of or you want to be a part of, and then just making your way down. And then if they don't reply to you and you really want to get in, then maybe you can just increase in your work within the next 6 months, and then reapply and kind of go, hey, what's up? I've just updated my books and I've done this work and this work, and here you go, and this is just I hope you watch it. So that's what I would recommend in terms of agents and emailing them and finding them in terms of their ranking, as well as how to get their emails. With emailing, it's really important that you kind of give a little bit of your flavor of your personality. So when I first started, again, I was a baby. I had only a commercial headshot, but what I would recommend, and this really helped me through my friend who started acting before me, she basically taught me all these reins. But if you have social media, if you have links to that, what I would recommend is going, hey, insert agent's name. My name is Sarah. I'm something years old. I worked in, if you've worked before and you're switching agents, obviously it's, I've worked in this, blah, 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 blah. I've studied here. This is what I'm interested in. This is where I'd love to go. This is who are my kind of my people that I look up to, like Kristen Wiig or sitcom comedy actors. And here are links to my work. So then you can give them really easy links of your Vimeo page, your YouTube page, your Instagram page, your showcast or backstage page, whatever link to social media you have, link them very easily so that it's just easy to click it, okay? And also what I would also recommend is straight away having your headshot as your signature so that they can actually see what you look like, rather than it just being this random email with no face, with no character, with no personality, and they're like, oh yeah, totally, I will totally sign you because there's no other actors trying to email me. So that's what I would recommend in terms of emailing. I hope that helps you. Also, another thing that I would recommend is getting more information on the agent. So I learnt a lot as I was going, as my career was progressing. I learnt that there were great agents and there was bad agents, and because I so thankfully and gratefully have an amazing agent, he's definitely given me the golden standard of comparison with my previous ones and also what people have told me. So there are definitely lots of stories of agents who have submitted their actors, they've gone for the work, and then they've gotten paid 40k or 2k or 10k and then never got paid, and then they became bankrupt, and then basically ended up these actors not being paid for the work that they've had. The other agencies that I've also learned and heard of is people not being paid on time. So they'll do a job and they won't be paid for like 6 months. And if this is your cash cow and this is your way of earning to pay your rent, I don't think that that's very professional. And if they're getting paid on time, you should be getting paid on time. And my agent is always on time, always gives me the right amount. I never have to chase him up with payment, and I'm just hearing these horrible stories and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So that is not normal. So if you have a lot of acting friends, what I would recommend is, if they're with an agent and you've got a meeting, what I would recommend is doing a little bit of research. Ask them, how's your agent? How do they work? Are they very professional? Are they more personable? How do you kind of, get in with them? Maybe getting an idea of what they like as well. But also a huge one is, how do they work professionally? That's the biggest one. They're working for you and you're working for them, and in the end you want it to be a professional, where they're going to pay you on time and they're going to submit you for auditions. So great work, great questions is, are they paying you on time? 2, are they submitting you for auditions? If you're not getting an audition for like 2-3 months, this is previously obviously, then there's something wrong. Obviously with the whole coronavirus, I know the times have changed because there's no productions going on, but these are things that you would want to look out for when the industry starts to kind of come back up again. So I really hope that helps you guys. I love my agent. I'm really, really grateful that I obviously got him, and yeah, he's really kind of guided me. A huge question that you can also ask your agent is, where do you see me going? Where do you see me going in terms of 5 years or 10 years? How do you think you're going to get me there, and what are the strategies? Because these are the things that you want to know as a client of this manager or agent, to know where they're going to take you. And if it's not the path that you want it to be, then you can be like, all right, you know what, thank you so much for this meeting, you're a really nice person, but I'm just gonna kind of keep on shopping around for an agent that really believes in me. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I love you, and I'll speak to you soon.